Hello and welcome to Star Wars Geek Girl. As usual, I'm here with Lizzie.
Hello.
And I'm Zoe, by the way. I didn't say it. Uh,
I didn't know who you were. I was very
yeah,
confused.
sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I'm new here, actually.
You're the
I've
guest
never done a
today.
podcast before. Yeah, so true. All right. We're going to talk about the Acolyte episode 3 today. So, very exciting, very good stuff. And, yeah, that's what we're going to talk about.
Yippee!
Star Wars Geek Girls. They're geek girls that like Star Wars. And sometimes cry.
Yay!
Yippee!
So, Acolyte episode 3 is called Destiny. What are your spoiler-free thoughts?
Spoiler-free thoughts is that, like, the last episode, I was like, I wonder what they're gonna do next because, we already killed the 2 Jedi. So, like, the next one is to kill another 2 Jedi, but then they're kind of left with nothing. So this episode was cool because, like, I wasn't expecting it, and I was very pleased with it because it was just really cool. And try to figure out how to say these things spoiler free. It was just really cool. That's all I could say.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, definitely super, super cool. I also really enjoyed this episode. It was, I figured we get this kind of episode in the show at some point. I was surprised it was this early, and that it was the whole episode.
Mm-hmm.
But, it was really, yeah, it was really cool. Lots of, like, new stuff. And also, I think, some nice, sort of pseudo references to, I think, the rest of the galaxy. And it was interesting, and I definitely think it's only a tiny piece of the puzzle that we're getting here. Like, we definitely are still not even close to the full picture, but we're slowly piecing it together, and I love how the show is doing that.
Yes, which I thought was funny because I was trying to look up like Wikipedia of like the summary of the show, and then I accidentally clicked on this other website, and I was like, wait, no, and it was like, this is the worst Star Wars episode in the world ever. What? And I was like, what? There's like thousands of episodes. How could you? Okay, yeah, sure. But anyway, I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, people be yapping.
They are yapping. I'm not listening. But yeah,
Yeah, we don't gotta listen to them.
nah. All right.
So now we can talk about spoilers, since you're clearly itching for it.
Spoilers. So witches. I thought that was really cool because when we saw that part in the trailer, I thought that was gonna be like a later thing. Like I thought that was gonna be like a present thing. Like they went and like they saw and met the witches present day. I didn't know that was in the past. So that
Yeah,
was interesting.
yeah, it was really cool.
But
Yeah, I loved them. I don't trust them at all. There's something hinky going on with them.
I love them. I
But
trust
I
them
love
with
them very
all of
much.
my heart.
I don't know, man.
I
That
don't.
thing she
But
did to
like
children, what the heck? That was scary. But I
yeah.
love them very much.
But then you get a
But
face tattoo.
do get a face tattoo. And I did love seeing young May and young Osha. I thought, it was really interesting to see, because even though they're twins and grew up in the same environment, we can see, like, Osha clearly, even before she knows what a Jedi is, she's clearly drawn to them. Like, she's drawing the Jedi symbol in her notebook before she even really knows what one is. So she clearly, somewhere the Force is calling her to the Jedi, versus May, who's not feeling that at all and is very much into getting to become one of the witches, like their mothers. And that was really cool to see, like, even, because, like, I think, it was easy, I think, to assume before this that, like, Osha and May are more products of their circumstances, and that's still at play, but it's even, like, before when they were in the same circumstances, we're still seeing that same divide between the 2 of them,
Yeah.
which is really interesting, to see that, and I know some people were like, "Oh, there must be a reason, like, what's going on?" It's like, "No, I think they're just different people, I think that's how it works, you know? Twins are not, um, the same all the time."
Right.
But no, actually, my favorite thing is people online being like, this is we're jumping ahead, but this is like when they're like, "Oh, there must have been a reason that, like, I wonder if it was a forced hallucination that made May say to Osha she was gonna kill her." I'm like, "Low key, that's just sisters close in age." I'm gonna be so real. Daffy and I used to chase each other around the house with a knife, and that was just sorry, Dad, if you didn't know that and you listen to us, but, like, that's just what that's
Yeah.
just how it be with siblings close in age, you
Or
know?
you hit your brother a little too hard and he starts crying. You're like, no, shh, wait, shh,
"You can hit me, you can hit
shush.
me, you can
Yeah.
hit me, you can hit me back."
Yeah. I was definitely not mad at OSHA, but I was like, girl, the Jedi aren't all that. You got a whole witch family. That's super cool. But that's just because of my perspective. I'm like, oh man, witches are just cool in general. But if that's all that she was growing up with her entire life, I could see how it could get boring.
Mhm.
Because then the
Well,
Jedi
and
would be the new thing.
yeah, well, and they're also such an insular community versus, like, the Jedi do get to get out and explore,
Yeah.
and see the galaxy, which is not what the witches seem to be into at all. They're more insular and just keep to themselves is what it seems like. Obviously, we don't
Mhm.
know too much about them at this point. Um,
Yeah. But I thought it was cool. The witches, they're all women, and there's also spice creams that they wanted to get. I really want a spice cream. I don't know what it is, but it sounds real good. And then they have 2 mamas, Mother Coral, and I don't remember the other one's name, but they
Mother
just actually
Anastasia.
call her Mama.
Mother
Like I'm like, damn,
Anastasia.
she's the favorite mama.
Yeah. Hey, I
Mother
didn't like
Coral
Coral, low
sucks.
key. She kinda
Yeah.
sucked. They're gonna be so real. She was
She was stinky. She was mean.
yeah.
But
But I
yeah,
did love Mother Anastasia, but she's so I'm so intrigued by her character, because we see these very, very kind and very soft parts of her, but we also see, like, she did that crazy thing to Torben where his, like, eyes went black and, like, what the heck was that?
yeah.
And
Poor
she,
Torben.
when yeah, right? Bro's just chilling. He's also like and that was the other thing too.
He
It's
was
like
a baby.
when she did that, she definitely purposely targeted the youngest and likely most vulnerable person in that group.
Oh
And it's
yeah.
like that's the choice she made. And then like whatever they said she did something to create the twins, and Coral's like, well, what if they find out how you created them? And it's like, oh, what did she do? Like what do you mean? What did she do? Like, was it like, did she kill someone? Like, what's this lady doing?
Hmm.
And it's like, and we see like when Osha wants to leave, like we see this resistance from her. Like to Osha's face, she's like a bit more accepting, but like when she's very adamant about like resisting that at first, and it's really interesting to see her. This I know you're not up in books, but the witches were so much reminding me of the path
Hmm.
in the High Republic Phase 2. Not exactly the same, because they refer to the Force as the thread. They have their philosophy on that. That was pretty neat. Where but they still used it versus the path, which was and I mean, the mother of the path was a bit of a hypocrite in a way, but like their belief was like no one should ever wield the Force in any way. Like that's wrong, and like that's their belief. Um, and that was like to me, that was a very quick connection for that. But then it was also like, well, the path are kind of terrorists, you know.
Hmm.
So what are these witches up to? I think that's another part of my suspicion as well.
I don't know. I don't know
I don't
anything
know.
about that. But I
I don't know if
like
the witches are
witches and
terrorists.
they can do whatever they want.
They're really cool, and
Oh.
I'm curious to learn more about them because like they're really cool, but then it's there's also like they're saying like, oh, we were unfairly chased out of other places. And it's like maybe they were, but there are a lot of different Force religions we see in the galaxy, especially in the High Republic. Some that are even a bit more dark side oriented, and people are usually chill with them. So like, what's with these ones? Why are they being treated differently? Like, even like the Night Sisters, like the Jedi seem to kind of know about the Night Sisters, and they didn't really care until they started like kidnapping people in Clone Wars season 6. Like, so it's like people, what are you guys up to? Why do people not like you? Maybe it is unfair. Maybe you guys did something.
They could never do no wrong.
And maybe you never know.
Never.
But it's really interesting to see, and we definitely, like I said, we don't have the full picture to hear. Like, we only have Osha's perspective, and we clearly missed a lot when she was in her room trying to escape from the fire. So it's
Yeah.
like, what happened exactly that led to the death of the Coven? I know again people are jumping to like, oh, the Jedi just started killing them all, but I didn't see really much. The Jedi definitely messed up somewhere. I'm not saying the Jedi are blameless in what happened, but I don't think Jedi genocide time was what happened.
Yeah, I definitely think they did something, but I don't know if it was like they went in and like just like started hacking and slashing.
Yeah,
Like I
that just
think
seems unlikely because the Jedi showed no interest in doing that at
well,
all.
they're also. I mean, again, like
Remember
they
when
could have done
Soul
something hostile, like the clan itself, but they see kind of like the Jedi see that I did. They were. I felt like the Jedi were kind of rude this entire episode,
I
but
don't
like
know. I mean, like when Soul reached for his weapon, and Dara immediately was like, "No, don't do that." When she thought he was going to pull it like hostily.
mhm.
You know what I mean? So it's like I don't think the Jedi were there with any intention of violence. Um, so I do wonder. Like it's possible the Jedi did some killing, but I don't think it was like the Jedi showed up and were like, "We're here to kill you guys." Like I don't think
This
it's
is
quite
our
that.
sole purpose, everyone. Guys, did you hear this?
Yeah,
We hate all of you.
because the Jedi weren't
Yeah.
didn't seem interested in like, and like again, like, and this is in both the High Republic and in the prequel era Jedi. When we see other Force religions, as long as they're not hurting anyone, the Jedi never care at all. They're like, cool, more Force people. Um, so I can't imagine the Jedi showing up and be like, actually, we don't like you guys. We're the only Force people allowed, and start killing them because it's just not what we've ever seen Jedi do. I mean, maybe these Jedi have some issues that we don't see in the other Jedi. But I didn't see any indication of that in this episode. So I'm really curious to see. We'll start to piece together maybe May's side of the story and what went down here.
Yeah, especially because
Yeah.
Torben, that's how. Well, I don't know what happened, but like Torben got this huge scar on his eye, like right after the episode.
Yeah. Well,
So
yeah,
I'm
we
like,
see at
they
the
must
very
have fought something,
yeah, you see at the
but like,
very
what
end
happened?
of the episode in the background, he's like out of focus, but his face is messed up.
Yeah, he's messed up, out of focus.
Um, so I'm really curious. I know, this is speculating a little bit. There's some trailers showing scenes of actually Kelnaka and Torben fighting. Or it appears like it looks like Kelnaka attacking Torben. And I can't imagine Kelnaka being like, I'm bored and just you know what I mean? So I
Yeah,
do wonder, like we saw Anasea do that crazy thing to Torben, like, is this like will she or any of the other witches maybe use their power to kind of turn the Jedi against each other, and that's kind of what leads to a fight, or like
yeah.
what happens?
What happened? But I'm
You know?
interested to see if Star Wars is gonna give us like all of these different perspectives. Like, I think that would be really cool. But I don't know, because it could be like Torben's perspective of like things and like stuff.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, like Soul. Like, I guess the whole Jedi and like, because this
Yeah,
one
I
is
mean
kind of
that
like the sisters ish. But then
yeah.
also May, like, she lit the stuff on fire, sure. But also, I thought it was interesting because later, they see each other again at the bridge. And she's like, and Osha's like, "What did you do?" And May's like, "What did I do? What'd you do?" So like, I can't tell either. Like, she's avoiding like her completely setting stuff on fire, or like
Mhm.
May also saw something happen.
Yeah. Well, and that's interesting because I interpreted that line from May as May kind of deflecting blame almost and being
Right.
like, "What do you mean, what did I do? What did you do? You're the one that wanted to go with the
To
Jedi. You
leave and
caused
stuff.
all of
That's
this."
what I was thinking. It was
You
either
know what I
that or
mean?
like she saw something because she was gone that entire time,
You're right. Yeah, no, she could have. And because yeah, I think we'll definitely maybe not next episode,
which is
or
also
maybe not
why
even a
she's like
whole
she's
episode dedicated to it, but we'll definitely get May's perspective, and May's perspective is totally gonna be different than Osha's. Because we May believes, and based on interactions with Dara, she believes that the Jedi attacked unprompted
yeah.
against unarmed people. Basically, that was just based off of her reaction with Indara. That's what she thought happened. Again, I just based on what we know of Jedi in general and what we saw even in this episode, the Jedi weren't, maybe were a little bit cold. They showed no indication of being aggressive towards these people at all. And so based off this episode, I don't believe that the Jedi show up and are like, "We're gonna kill you guys," like just like automatically. But it's like whatever did happen. That's May's perspective, and then So yeah, she's definitely. Lizzy had something going with like a Rashomon vibe. I think that's definitely. I think she stated that as one of her um
Yeah.
one of
Something
her
fishy's
inspirations.
afoot.
Yeah. So I definitely think throughout this episode, which we only have 5 episodes left, so I don't think we'll get like this episode is May's, and this episode is Torben's, and this episode, so like
That'd be
we got to
so
move
cool
the
though.
other story. It would be cool, but it's like we got to move the story forward beyond that too.
No, I
But we'll definitely, I think, see other interpretations of this event, and kind of piece together what kind of really happened or over the course of the show, and I'm really excited to see that, and figure out what happened there. Because, like I said, I think the Jedi definitely messed up somewhere, but I don't really fully trust the witches either. There's something off with them too. So
yeah.
it's very interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, I still like the episode, and I am very excited to know. And I'm hoping they don't like leave it too much like for us to like interpret ourselves. So I just think that'll be cool.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I also loved Soul, his interactions with Osha in this episode, and because that was the thing that I thought was cool. Like the Jedi show up because they want to test Osha and May, and Osha they figure out is failing the test, but I think they knew that about May too. Like there's no way they didn't know that May wasn't also going to be a candidate.
Yeah.
So I think it's interesting that they very quickly seem to read May doesn't want this, and they then were like, okay, May doesn't have to come with us. But Osha, they were like, Osha, if you want to tell us the truth, if you want to come with us, you can. And when Osha says yes, they're like, okay, if this is what Osha wants, then we can take Osha. I thought that was really interesting. I felt very vindicated after years of everyone being like, the Jedi steal babies against everyone's will. It's like, no, when the kid doesn't want to come, they're not going to make them come. They don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
But it's about, especially like I think Osha, like I said, she was drawing the Jedi symbol before she even knew what it was. Like she's clearly being called to the Jedi by the Force, and this is what she wants. On a spiritual level, she's connected to the Jedi already, and I think that was really cool the way that they showed that.
I liked her mom's patience with it because I was honestly thinking that she was gonna go into like a rage about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I would have been like, "This is my kid. Like, don't take my freaking kid." But also my other thing is like, well, okay, I would also be like, well, I have a plan for these kids, right? I don't know if it's an evil plan. there's definitely a plan for those 2 kids. I
Yeah.
have one that's super, super dedicated, so I guess I don't really need the other one, you know?
That's what the spare's for.
So, like, I was like, well, you could just let her go. I mean, it ended up her not even, like, staying with the freaking Jedi, but, like, I
Mhm.
was kinda I thought that was interesting, though, because I was like, "Oh, that's, like, really sweet of her to be so understanding of, like, hey, you know what, Osha, if this is what you want, fine. But, like, you're not gonna see me ever again." Like, it's a big decision
Mhm.
that you have to make. Um, so I thought that was kinda cool. It's very sweet.
Yeah, well, yeah, and it's to see this character be very soft, was really good, and yeah, I love her I loved her character. She was really interesting, and I'm really excited to learn more about her because she has these multiple facets to her.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, yes,
Um,
she's really cool.
but
But
yeah,
Mother
I
Coral,
oh yeah, I don't like her. But I was gonna
me
say, I think it's interesting that Osha left the Jedi Order, cause like,
Mhm.
and this is just me personally. If I made this whole big freaking deal about going to the Jedi, wanting to be a Jedi, not of course she's not betraying her family, but pretty much betraying her family. Like now her family's dead because of this whole thing with the sister. And like all this happened because I technically wanted to go to the Jedi and I was being difficult. I would stay with said Jedi till I died. I would have just like I wouldn't have given up. I wouldn't have done this. I wouldn't like no. I Everyone I know and love is dead because I want to go to Jedi. Fine, I'm staying with the freaking Jedi, and that's just me. But I was like,
Yeah.
it's interesting that she just like left.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting. I mean, my understanding was she was talking about, like, she was struggling a lot with the grief, and she didn't feel like she could really be the best Jedi she could be, and she's, struggling with some of the teachings about those things, and she was like, "You know what? I don't think this is really my life, and I wanna make my own life." And you know, I think that's her, and she clearly found it's also the other thing is, like, being a Jedi, you get to see the galaxy, they have the satellite temples that you go around with, you go on your little missions and see different parts of the galaxy, so it's also like, like you said earlier, like the Jedi were the alternative for her
Hmm.
when she was in the coven with the witches, and then when she is a Jedi and she sees what the rest of the galaxy has to offer, she realizes, whether or not she likes being a Jedi, it's like, oh, there's other things too. Like this isn't my only path. And I think both Osha and May, were clearly born with a purpose for these witches.
Yeah.
Meaning they weren't necessarily born with opportunity. And May was an opportunity for choice. And May was okay with that. May wanted the path laid out for her, but Osha didn't want that. And I think that's ultimately what it was about. And so we don't know where Osha's arc is going. I know a lot of people speculating about her going more dark side, but maybe her arc will be reconnecting with herself as a Jedi. There are Jedi in the High Republic. There's Cantum Psi. They in the High Republic books they left the Jedi for a little while, and then came back to it. And
Hmm.
and that's something I think we're kind of seeing with Ahsoka, though obviously in a very different way. Or like we have way secret Jedi like Orla Jareni, who did that in a very like official way, where they like declared themselves as way secret. Like that's something we see people do as well. They need time to explore and find themselves, um, and kind of
Or
see the
even like
galaxy.
Ventress not even being dark side
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah, like Ventress too. Like we don't know where her Osha's arc is going, so it's like maybe her arc will be being a Jedi again, or at least in some way returning to using the Force for the light side.
Hmm. Yeah. I guess we'll see. But I thought that was
Mm.
pretty cool. And that makes me understand a lot more of why Osha's so mad at May. because
Mhm.
we kind of didn't really know. So yeah, I mean, I would also be mad at her too.
Yeah.
Especially
Well, yeah,
because
it
she doesn't know like what fully happened, but she knows. Okay, fire killed everyone. From what she
mhm.
knows, May started the fire. Boom,
Yeah.
done. All the explanation I need.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So it'll be really interesting to see May's account of these events. Too, and see how that differs, and then so I wonder, I mean, I don't know, but I wonder if we'll get, like, May's account, and then we'll also get, like, maybe, like, the true account or something like that, like, as
Yeah.
the series develops and, um or what, but I'm definitely very excited for such I am excited. This episode was amazing. I am excited to get back to, my Jeckies and my Yords, so I will admit.
Little
I did
guys.
miss them.
Yord Horde.
My little guys. The Jackie Jam, the Yord Horde, the Soul Patrol, the OSHA violations. That's what this episode was. This was an OSHA violation.
The whole
OSHA kind
thing.
of got OSHA kind of got violated. I'm not gonna lie. That was
That's why
tough.
she's so mad at May.
Yeah, May
She's
performed
like, I
OSHA
gotta give you like
violations.
you violated all these codes. Come back here. But yeah, I like this episode. It's pretty good. I was saying in the other with my dad, like that podcast, whatever they're called, the Rogue Rebels or whatever. Uh, I was saying that um, the like little butterflies kind of in the first like 5 minutes of the episode, um, they're just so pretty, and I was like, if I had enough, you know, motivation, it would be so cool to have like a little, not a chandelier, but like, just hang those up, like make it out of something, put little tiny bit of
Oh,
lights, and then hang them up on the ceiling.
I feel like you could totally do that.
But I just need to figure out how, and then also have the motivation to finish it. So, but I thought those were really cute.
Yeah, they were really cool. They reminded me of
Ouch. Of
something
something
little
fireflies.
no little the little sea butterflies in Animal Crossing. There's this like these tiny little guys that you can catch sometimes.
Oh, like the sea angels.
Yeah, or sea
Yeah.
butter. I thought it was butterfly. Maybe it's angel, but it's like little guys.
Oh, yeah, sea
They're
butterfly.
so silly and small, and that's what they
You're right.
reminded me of.
That's pretty much what they look like IRL too. They're cute. But yeah. You have anything else to say about the episode?
No, it was good. It was intriguing. Gave me more questions than it did answers, which is exactly what I want in the first half of a mystery show.
Fair.
Fun Jedi times, fun OSHA times, witchies. Also, I did love Anastaea's hair a ton. She used it
Yeah.
like as a scarf for some of her outfits. It was very slay.
Very cool. Very, very hip with the times.
Yes. So Rapunzel of her. Mother Anastaea, Disney princess? Question mark.
Perfect. But then we could see her walking around Disney. That'd be cool.
You're so right. Honestly, I think like there should be a part like behind Galaxy's Edge that's just like the witch coven. and you can get spice creams, and they'll cast curses on you and stuff.
Perfect. I love curses.
Get on that, Disney. Get on that. I want to be able to get cursed by a witch. I'll pay extra.
Just to get cursed.
Yes.
But I have to hold a spice cream in my hand before I get cursed. Just in case.
They did like a recipe on stars.com of the spice creams. Did you see it?
No. Spice creams. Because I was like,
they also had a recipe.
Yeah, that's.
They also had a recipe for the noodles.
Yeah, I saw that too. I was hoping that's the thing. I was like, man, I was kind of wishing it was like a noodle, like kind of like a soup base, but it was more like a sauce kind of. It was chili oil noodles, which is also still very good. But I don't know. I was like thinking of like a giant bowl of just ramen something noodle pho, any kind of like soup based kind of noodle, but still very good. Spice creams. Yeah, those are pretty
They're
much
like little cookies.
IRL spice creams. Spice, like, what are they called? Spice puffs?
No idea.
They're called something. Spice. I don't know. But they look like something that is IRL. Or maybe I've seen it before. I don't know. But anyway, they look pretty good, actually. I was also hoping they were like more like ice cream y.
Yeah, because when you see them in the episode, I thought they would be like, I don't know. I heard spice cream and I was like, oh, like little like milky thingies. That's what I thought it would kind of be.
I thought it was more like a little like the inside of that. Like I was imagining kind of that, but like ice cream y. Probably because of the cream part, but they still look good.
Yes.
Isn't that in the cookbook? Yeah, that they're in the cookbook already.
I don't know.
Yes, I believe. But they look pretty good. Yeah. Maybe I'll make those. I want to get back into baking. I was baking like a lot for a while, and then it's just gone. So, need to go back.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you have anything else to say?
Not really about Acolyte, except someone pointed out that the two of the biggest shows that are running right now on streaming, which is The Acolyte and The Boys, are starring Rue from The Hunger Games and the guy who stabbed her. So I just thought that was funny.
Nice.
Because Amanda Stenberg plays Rue in The Hunger Games, and then Jack Quaid is in The Boys, plays the career who stabs her.
Nice.
So I just thought it was very silly, fun times. The Boys season. Do you watch The Boys?
No.
Oh, it's so good. Don't watch it when you're eating. But it's so good. But the season 4 premiere was crazy.
Why don't watch when I'm eating?
It's disgusting. It's
I guess it's boys, right? So like,
well,
but like what?
well, it's a superhero show, but it's super gory. Like from the first episode. Like if you watch the first episode, if you get
one that like it's like the guy that's
Homelander,
like, super full of himself.
That could be like literally any TV show ever.
It's the guy that's like wearing blue. Yeah, I just
Homelander.
That guy.
Yeah, but I would say if you watch the first episode, there's a really gory scene right in the beginning. If that's too much for you, that's one of the most tame scenes in the show. So you have the first like 5 minutes to figure out if you're gonna like it or not.
All I know is the only reason I haven't watched it is because I had a friend, emphasis on had a friend in college that like I went to his dorm and his PC, like the background was of that main character all bloody but
was
smiling.
It Homelander? Oh
yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Blonde.
And I was like, oh, who's that? He was like, oh, it's this guy from The Boys. Like, that he's just me. Like I'm just like that guy. I'm
Okay.
just like that guy. And I was like, I don't know. That sounds a
I
little
will say
strange.
Homelander is very explicitly an antagonist in the show.
Cool.
He's very explicitly the main villain. So,
Yeah.
despite people insisting that he's just like that, he's very much the villain of the show.
Cool. Again, emphasis on had that friend.
Yeah, I will say, like, if you think that friend is like getting the show and Homelander's supposed to be a good guy, he's not at all.
Okay, cool. But
Um,
yeah. So that's the
but
only thing I know.
The Boys is really good, but it is genuinely repulsive to watch
Heard.
sometimes, but it's really good. And actually, they have, sorry, this is not the Boys
No,
podcast,
go ahead.
but they have a spin-off show called Gen V, and I love it. It's amazing. It takes place in the same universe, but it's college kids, and every character is so fun, and it's such an intriguing, it's another like kind of mystery, sort of like the Acolyte in a way-ish. But yeah, I would say you can probably watch Gen V without watching The Boys, but it definitely helps a lot to have seen The Boys. But
I see.
it's really, yeah, they're both really good. And remarkably unsubtle political commentary. It's really funny. But don't watch it when you're eating.
I don't really get grossed out by gore. Oh.
I would just give it a try, not eating, and see what you think, and see if you think you could stomach it.
I don't know if you know my dad, but I didn't watch a lot of kids' movies when I was a child.
Oh no, I get it, but The Boys is beyond like any horror movie before, like very, very recently. Like it is
The only
beyond.
thing that disgusts me is people eating people. Because I don't like zombies.
Yeah.
Are you good? What?
I'm just saying, there's a tiny bit of that in there.
Okay, then no, thank you. Because I can barely get through Supernatural with people eating people.
I mean, it's like a one-off thing. Like it's not like a regular thing, but like that's okay. It's like the grossest things, both gore and both like sexual-wise, you can think of. It's there, and even the ones you can't think of, they're in there too.
Yes. I think I'm good. Again, after that guy
That's
being
fair.
like, "Yeah, I'm
That's
so him," I was like, I don't think I want to know who you think you are right now.
That's fair. That's totally valid. No, yeah, I think Homelander is genuinely the best villain I've ever seen on TV in a show like this.
Seems to just kind of go crazy.
It
seems like kind of mentally insane. From the TikTok things I've seen, that's all it is. Like he kind of is full of himself.
Yeah, I mean, those are the scenes that people post all the time, but like his build up as a villain, like when he's not doing that, like he's generally, I think, the best villain because he is like unpredictable. Like him just being in a scene creates tension because he's just like terrifying. And Anthony Starr has an incredible performance as him, but it's a great show. Not for everybody. It's a great show. And let's talk about The Boys. Please hit me up. Not the comic though. We don't talk about that. I haven't read that, and I have no desire to. But the show, great times.
The show. Heard. I will let you know if I get into that, but I'm still finishing Neon Genesis Evangelion not for my dad, but for myself. I'm trying to figure out how that's going. and I'm constantly getting, because anytime I'm like, yeah, I'm on the first, like I'm on episode 19. My dad is like, okay, I told you the timeline, right, of like how to watch it. And I'm like, yes, you did. And he's like, well, let me tell you again, just in case. Let's get Hawes on the phone.
Oh gosh.
I'm like, okay, all right. So yeah, it's a fun time. Yeah. Anything else?
No, I think that's it. I could have given up on trying to find Star Wars Oreos in stores, so I did order them online.
Star Wars Oreos.
Yes, they're Star Wars Oreos, which is great. It's like two of my favorite things. And
Vegan.
have you heard about this? If you open it, you don't know if you're going to get light side or dark side Oreos till you open it. And the
So
the
did you
light
get like
side
20?
ones, I got 4. That's 4.
That's still good.
And hey, depending if they do come to stores, depending how long they're there, that might be you. I might have many more in my future. But if you the light side ones have blue cream and they have characters on them. So the light side ones have like Rey and like R2 and Leia and like light side guys. And then the dark side ones are red. And they have like Kylo Ren and stormtroopers and Count Dooku and like bad guys. This is very important.
Nice.
I think they all taste the same. Genuinely, they very well just might all be regular Oreo flavored, but they look like Star Wars, and that's important.
They are the Star Wars. Yeah, that sounds cool.
Very exciting. Very exciting stuff. Star Wars Oreos. That's all I got now. I think.
Nice.
All right, so we'll. Oh yeah, plus I know how to podcast. So if you want to see stuff, I haven't written in a while. I definitely want to get back into it. I'm still like there's a pile of cardboard boxes in the corner of my room right now. Genuinely, I'm still like moving in. It feels like in a way. So like once I'm like settled and actually have like proper desk space, I definitely want to get back into writing. And when I do that, it's on StarWarsGeekGirl.com. If you haven't read the other things I've written, they're there as well. And then we're on Twitter and Instagram at SWGeekGirl, and then Facebook page is Star Wars Geek Girl. If you want to follow me personally, I'm on Instagram and TikTok is at Spectre_5. And on Twitter, I'm at Zoika.
We got the Rogue Rebels, theroguerebels.com, Instagram and TikTok at the Rogue Rebels, Twitch, where at Rogue Rebels. I'm skipping. My brain is skipping lines. Where podcasts wherever you're listening to Star Wars Geek Girl, you can listen to the Rogue Rebels, and Twitter at Rogue Rebels Fam, Facebook page at the Rogue Rebels. Oh my god, I can't read. I just started playing Hunters, kind of, but then the internet guy came in, and I was like, dang it.
Oh, wait, what? Did you unlock social yet?
No.
Oh.
Because I started it, he came in, he was like, I'm unplugging it, like, right now. And I was like, okay. And then he did, and then after, like, 2 hours, I started making dinner because I wanted to make braised brisket,
Okay.
so...
You have to tell me when you unlock social, tell me your username, because I need to add 3 people to do a quest. But I only have your dad and X right now.
Heard. I'll be there soon. There was something else I wanted to say. I posted a TikTok for the Rogue Rebels today because I thought it was silly and it reminded me of my dad. So
Is it the burrito one?
yes.
Yes, I saw that.
Isn't it him? Isn't it just him?
Yes.
Perfect. That's what I wanted to portray. Yeah. I was the Lizzy. The Lizzy.
Whoa.
Who are you?
In the whole world. I was the Zoe.
Dang.
Thank you for listening to Star Wars Geeks Girls. May the Force be with you, and goodbye.
Goodbye.